Welcome back to Project 94 for another diecast review here on the channel, and today we're going to take a trip back to 2022 to review another 2022 diecast right here. This one is going to be a really special car, guys. Here is Ross Chastain and his 2022 WWEX Racing / Advent Health Phoenix Championship 4 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 number 1 for Trackhouse Racing's Ross Chastain. A surprising release here. This car was initially canceled and brought back. So here it is. A very, very cool Ross Chastain car here. I love the way this paint scheme looks. It's an awesome design. And it's a shame that we're never going to get the Daniel Suarez paint scheme. Because you guys remember, Trackhouse Racing ran two special Phoenix paint schemes, and of course Ross Chastain with the crazy wall ride move made it to the championship 4 and got to race this paint scheme at the Phoenix Raceway. Of course, very, very special paint scheme for Ross Chastain. It is his first ever championship 4 appearance, and it got made as a diecast. So how cool is that, guys? Let's get this diecast review out of the box and ready to be reviewed. Here's the diecast out of the box right here. Very cool, man. I am so glad this car finally got produced, man. How awesome is this? I just love the texture of this paint scheme, the colors, and the fact that it's a special championship paint scheme, man. It only ran one race at Phoenix for the championship race. Very, very cool. And it's awesome to have a paint scheme that has two sponsors on, of course, WWEX and Advent Health. Pretty cool to see that, guys. I really like the way this car came out. So let's do this diecast review now, shall we? On the front of this number 1 car, you have the number 1 Trackhouse Racing and some pretty wonky looking Chevrolet Camaro headlights right there. That's just standard Lino Racing quality. Let's see if this camera can focus in on this car a little bit better. Here we go. On the hood of this car, we have WWEX.com, or at the very edge of the hood right here. You got some like weird dirt and specks on the hood right there. It's just odd. I don't know how that happened. Is that like a rose or something on the hood? Like a red, like little flower rose thing? Plant? I really cannot see that very good, you guys. Got ZL1, WWEX Racing on the hood right there with the black letters and the white swoosh to fit in better with the blue background right there. Of course, the two ZL1 logos, very nice to see. This car was initially supposed to be in a 4-pack. A 2022 Championship 4 set of all the cars that raced in the Championship 4 at Phoenix. The 4 drivers, and of course Ross Chastain being one of them, was the only one to have a special paint scheme. So the only way people would have gotten that pack was to get this paint scheme, because this was not scheduled to be released as a normal diecast. But of course that 4-pack was canceled, and this car was revived. You have Sunoco right there, you have Goodyear, NASCAR Cup Series Championship right there. Of course, you got the Championship 4 logo. Also, the numbers are not chrome on the side because it's an Authentics car, so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have that. It's just the normal blue number 1 right there. Rob Rose. Oh, so that's why it has the rose on it, because it's Rob Rose. It has a Rob Rose's name on there. That's pretty cool. I don't really know too much about him. Hope to learn more about him in the future. Of course, you have, looks like another Rose logo, 2 race winner stickers, Tootsies, beamoose.org, Chevrolet, Tootsies, Moose, and Advent Health, and another big slanted Advent Health logo to fit the new number placement, although the paint scheme fits the new number placement pretty well anyways. You have Kubota, Jockey, and Siemens, and the Trackhouse Entertainment logo. Of course, the Goodyears are yellow on the fenders and on the wheels themselves with the dark gray rims. On the back of this diecast, you have Chevrolet, Trackhouse, got WWEX.com with the globe, number 1, Camaro ZL1. And on the deck lid, you have Worldwide Express. And on the roof of this thing, Worldwide Express once again with the globe as well, with the number 1. And so for the paint scheme itself, you pretty much have a black and white version of number 1. Just the black shadow, white outline, black outline with the slash and the white number fill in. The standard Trackhouse font, which looks pretty cool. On the doors, you're going to have the black shadow, another black outline, a white outline, another black outline with the slash and the blue number fill in. And here's the white one in the front. and the white 1 in the back. And it's pretty appropriate to start out with the color of this car. So what was this car, what was the spray coat of it? If you look inside of the diecast and underneath, it's spray painted a very cool light blue color. Very similar to the petty blue, just a bit of a different shade to it. A bit more on the darker side than the standard petty blue. Of course, you're going to have the black splitter, black roof rails, and the yellow championship spoiler right there, which is pretty cool. The Sprint Cup yellow, or whatever you want to call it nowadays, yellow spoiler for the playoffs, and of course the biofuel logo right there. So for the paint scheme itself, it's going to start out in the front with the black valence, and there are 2 spikes in front here on top of the blue that are going to have that broken glass texture. It's pretty much the same texture that's on the side. It almost looks like camo or broken glass, which is quite interesting. I compare it more to broken glass just because it looks like triangular shards on here. But nonetheless, you're going to have 2 of those spikes in the front. Of course, the light blue is going to cover up the whole hood / nose portion of this car with those 2 broken glass stripes. And of course, got a bit of another blue stripe right there poking out by the Sunoco logo. It's spaced out from the other one a little bit. Of course, you're going to have light blue on the splitter right there, very little bit, so the teams know how to adjust the splitter and such. And of course, the hood's just going to have that light blue on it. It doesn't take the shape of the hood. It kind of does like swoop a little bit. It's not like the exact shape of the hood, because they needed to wrap around the whole front nose right here. Of course, got the hood vents. And on both sides of the car, I've checked. They're the same. But nonetheless, you're going to have that broken glass pattern kind of fill out the front portion right here behind the number 1, behind these contingencies, and on the front wheel wells, all covered up in that beautiful broken glass camo texture. It's going to wrap around the side roof pillars, which looks super nice. And it's going to be complemented very well with these blue swooshes and swoops on the side right there. And they have a black outline to them. And of course, behind this stripe right here, it's evenly spaced by the black. It's going to go back into the pattern, and it's appropriate to mention that if you look at it, these blue stripes have a thin black outline to it. It's like that the broken glass pattern doesn't mesh in with the blue right there, blend in. Of course, you're going to have more of that broken glass texture continue onto the rear portion of the side and onto the quarter panel right there, where this other beautiful blue swoop is going to come through and kind of be on top right there and spike right there evenly. You can see the black stripe going through underneath the light blue. But man, I just love the way this looks. It frames that Advent Health black and white logo really, really nicely. Of course, the black is behind it. The letters are white. And then it had that blue swoop on the side. Very, very clean and very sharp. Especially, it really complements, the stripes and the blue really complement the pattern very, very nicely. It's super cool. You know when you go on Photoshop or Photopea and you want to find like just background textures to add to the paint scheme? That's kind of what this reminds me of. And on the back, you're just going to have that light blue color again with the black bumper. Perfectly taking the shape of that, by the way. Deck lid is all black. And the roof is going to match the rest of the light blue parts of this paint scheme. So, very, very glad this car got made, and you guys are going to find out eventually. It wasn't going to be that much of a secret. This car came from the Lionel Racing Snowball 500 calendar. So, this was one of the cars that was in there, and I was going to initially keep it a secret, so when people watch this video, they would be like, whoa, how'd you get that diecast? But I figured we'll just show the diecast. I need more videos on my channel. That's why I'm reviewing these. But now you know what I was talking about when this car was revived. But nonetheless, I'm glad it was produced because this car was almost going to be gone. It was going to be in the dumps. This car got, that 4-pack got canceled, and this car was the victim of it because this is the one people wanted the most. And the Suarez was screwed either way, which is sad. I would love to have both the Suarez and the Chastain to complete that Phoenix set. But I guess customizers are going to have to do that job for me. So let's get this 360 viewing of this beautiful Ross Chastain car. I really like this one. I'd say my favorite part of this car is definitely the broken glass texture, which they seem to use that on a couple of their paint schemes. which I really like. It just looks super sharp. It goes really well with everything else. I mean, I really like the way this paint scheme came out. It's really cool to have the die cast of it. I was hoping to get the die cast of it when I saw it on the track. So to see it get DMP'd was very sad, but thankfully this calendar saved it. As you can see, this is a really, really nice car. Love the way it came out. Just the black and the light blue, of course, the yellow playoff stuff. Very, very cool. And even if you didn't want this to be a playoff car, anybody could wrap that spoiler in black, and boom, you got yourself an alternate Ross Chastain paint scheme. But that right there is going to be Ross Chastain, and it's 2022 Phoenix Championship 4 WWEX / Advent Health Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 for Trackhouse Racing. Like I said, I highly recommend finding a way to get this diecast. It's very cool. And guys, man, this thing has been rescued, man. I love to see DMP'd cars get rescued. Of course, the hood vent's on there. I forgot to mention. I don't know if I mentioned that already. But like I was saying, very cool to see some of these diecasts being revived. This has got to be one of the cooler ones for the Chevy fans out there. So this is one of the Chevys that was an exclusive. But yeah, guys, very, very cool Trackhouse Racing diecast here. So thank you all for checking out this diecast review. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next diecast review. And always remember to share these videos with your friends and family so you can get some more followers here on Project 94. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecasts.